Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel Wake Up Bright, where I share all the things that help me live each day a little brighter. I am April Lauren and I have been sharing my weight loss journey here on YouTube, and recently, by recently I mean 2 months ago to the day, I had a weight loss surgery. And in this video we're going to talk about my 2 months, things that I've noticed, my progress. I'm going to do side-by-sides, talk about the amount of weight that I've lost, and just get into all of the details. So if that's something that you're interested in watching, then just keep watching. I started this month in the soft food phase, and at 6 weeks I transitioned from soft foods to just food. There's still like suggestions, things to avoid, but for the most part, anything that I would like to try is on the table for me to try. Protein always being first. Protein is always the priority, and then going from there. My lifting restriction was removed and I was able to go back to work, and then my favorite thing is going back into the water, being able to scuba dive again. And we have had a great month, my husband and I also feel a little torn, and I imagine that as this continues, as like my life continues to stabilize and get more normal, it's gonna be a challenge to accept the changes that just are, and then also understanding what those changes are. And you may think like, oh, that's so obvious, but it's really not. Even when I read or I'm told something is going to happen with as far as the way my body is, when you experience it, I might describe it differently than it was described to me, or what I thought was being shared with me feels different or it looks different. And that's just something, one, that I get over, and two, that I work through. So, or get over by working through is probably the better way to put that. For instance, chicken has always been something that I love. I love chicken. I have tried, at this point, I've tried both chicken breast and chicken thighs. It is recommended to steer clear of chicken breast, especially like in the soft food phase. I asked the dietitian if it was okay, and she was like, make sure it's not dry, yada yada, but usually it does not sit well, but you can definitely try it. Well, I didn't make it dry, but it doesn't matter. Regular chicken thighs, regular chicken breast, boneless, skinless, the texture of it makes me want to hurl. And chicken, like, there's a point in my life where chicken was my favorite thing. My friend Shantae, I am sure that she came to visit when we were young. Every time she came over, my grandma would be like, what would y'all like for dinner? And we'd be like, chicken. We want chicken. We were maybe a little ridiculous, but my whole point is that I love chicken. In college, I decided to be a vegetarian for a little while. 6 months that I didn't, and then I just wanted chicken so bad that I got chicken, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm no longer a vegetarian, but I still care about the animals, but I'm just gonna eat chicken. And that might cause mixed feelings if you're listening to this, and for that I'm sorry, but it's my reality. Like, I like meat and things, and I also love animals, and so that's sometimes hard to work out within my own mind. But my whole point is that chicken is like one of my favorites, and I cannot eat chicken, and it's a healthy favorite. It's like one of the things that I would like to be able to have, not just because I enjoy chicken, but because it's good for me and it packs a lot of protein with every punch, like every bite, and that would be great. But it makes me, like, just thinking about it is making my stomach turn, like the way it feels in my mouth. It feels, even when I know it's cooked to temperature, there is no pink, it is not raw. Whenever I eat chicken, I don't know, I'm not a raw chicken eater, but I feel like there's been a time or two in my life where I've bitten into chicken and it's just not quite done, and it's like disgusting, like the way the texture, all chicken feels like that to me. And now I feel like I've talked about chicken for extremely way too long. So we're gonna just go ahead and move forward from chicken. But there are other things that it's similar, where the texture or the taste has changed, and I just can't. And it's interesting to have this experience, and we'll see what the future holds, because I'm only on all foods for 2 weeks now, so a little over 2 weeks, but we have more to go, more foods to introduce, and time will tell how it all goes. Right now it feels pretty hard to get all of the protein in. I definitely strive to prioritize protein in all meals, and will continue to do that. I've talked in depth about that in the past. It's just protein is very important for all, but especially when you have weight loss surgery, getting in that protein, it promotes healing and helps prevent a lot of things like, losing hair, which I feel pretty okay. I am worried about losing a ridiculous amount of hair, but I also have a lot of hair. So like when I would get my hair cut, I don't feel like my hair is as thick as it was when I was like a teenager. I feel like it's thinner. But when I was a teen, for sure, whenever I would go get a haircut, they'd always thin it. Like they would thin the hair, like they would intentionally like cut so that way it wasn't so bulky and thick. I'm just saying that because like I'm trying to convince myself that I'm gonna be okay. That's why I'm saying it for me. I'm like, okay, yeah, April, you're probably gonna lose some hair, but guess what? Oh, you're fine. You're like, it's gonna grow back and it'll be fine. And you probably won't even notice that hard. Maybe your hair will have a little more body, a little more bounce because it won't be so heavy. Yeah, I'm probably living in a little bit of La La Land, but yeah. So going back to work has been great. Having that lift removed has been great, because now I can do simple things like not make multiple trips to wash my clothes, or have my husband like take the baskets for me. I can buy dog food and I can take it out to my car. I can take it from my car to the house. I can pour it in the container that holds the dog food. It's very exciting stuff. And let's see, I'm no longer as timid. Like I've been walking, and of course walking my pups, but I'm not as timid about walking them. It can be a challenge here. There are sometimes quite a few stray dogs, and that has always been a point of worry for me. When we lived in El Paso, our neighbor's dog got into our yard, and then it attacked me and Julio. And when it attacked Julio, the reason it attacked me wasn't because it was coming for me. It went straight for Julio, but then I tried to break it up, which was stupid. Don't do that. Like, get a water hose and spray the dogs down. Like, I mean, of course, I'm saying don't do that, but I would do it again. I would do it 1,000 times. So I imagine most of you guys would probably too. But the smarter thing is to get a water hose and spray them, because that is what my belligerent screams after I had been bitten. I didn't even feel it. Like the dog bite that I had didn't matter to me. I was just horrified because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna watch my dog and my neighbor's dog fight into the death. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck. And then somebody heard me screaming, and he came around. He was like a firefighter, but he just got the hose and sprayed him, and they immediately stopped. So that was good. I don't know why I'm talking about this in my 2-month update, and you probably are wondering the same thing. So I'm gonna keep moving. I brought it up though because with the lifting restriction, I assumed like I'm still healing in certain ways. And so while I've still walked my pups, it's been with more stress, like a fear of other animals coming and me having to use strength and potentially, but yeah. Anyway, neither here nor there. I'm just happy that I don't have to worry about that anymore at all. No lifting restriction. Going back to work has been great so far. It's still new. All of this is new. So it feels kind of weird because like half of the month was like, it was like, oh, it's new, soft foods. And then this other thing is like, it's already time to move on, which I was on soft foods for 4 whole weeks, but still, it's been an interesting 2 months as far as the changes, just with the dietary restrictions and things in the healing process. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, months 3 and 4 and 5, when everything's going to be looking a lot similar. Like my day-to-day life will be more similar and regular than having to work through restrictions or easing back into like routine and things. But I am very happy to be where I'm at, and I have felt more lethargic lately than I had previously, and I'm looking forward to getting blood work and things done. So my 3-month appointment, I will have blood work and stuff done, but that blood work is going to come a few weeks before. So in 2 weeks from now, I will be getting my blood work and stuff done, and then I'll know like if I'm lacking in vitamins, if I've got some, I mean, I don't know how dramatic it will be after just 3 months, like how much you can actually see and how much of it occurs over a longer period of time, but it will be very interesting to see how that works. But I have felt very lethargic. I have lots of energy at times, but then I also have that feeling, and I wonder if my iron is low. That's definitely something I have had in the past, not where it's been like super dangerously low or anything, but I just tend to have like a lower iron level. So anyway, let's talk about my weight. Month I shared that I had reached 284 pounds. This month I have reached 271 pounds. So I lost 13 pounds even this past month. I definitely hoped that I would lose more than 13 pounds. However, almost lost 44 pounds, which is almost at the mark. So one of the metrics that I've seen to look for is losing 30% of your excess weight by your 3-month visit, and I'm pretty close to that. So I can't see me not hitting that by the time I go in for my 3-month appointment. So I am 43.7 pounds down. Just to touch on the weights, my highest weight was 352.8 in summer 2020. Now, those of you who have been watching my YouTube channel for a while know that I lost a little over 100 pounds. And then after the move, I gained quite a bit of that back. So 314.7 was my weight the morning of surgery. And then 1 month I got reached 284, and 2 months I am at 271, which is a loss of 43.7 pounds. And I am very happy with that. I feel so much better being around or doing everything. Doing everything just feels so much easier and so much better. There's, of course, challenges. I've touched on some, but I am just really happy to be free to move again. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into the progress pictures and video, and I am very excited to talk about these. So we are starting with the side-by-sides going from the end of the first month. So I started at 284, and then I have lost 13 pounds, which I already shared, and so I'm 271. And I'm really happy with the changes. The biggest change area I feel like is in my chest, and then also in my stomach area, which makes me very, very happy. I have lost enough to where the bra on the left, it was really loose last month in the chest area, and this month I went ahead and went down. So the bra on the right is not the same bra. It actually fits, and I'm not just flopping around in the top part of the bra like I am now if I try to wear the other one. So that is happy news. I like being able to see the changes in my body. I see a lot of changes in my upper back, and in my arms too. I am very happy with that. And my feet are so much smaller. It's so interesting how that is. Moving on to comparing surgery day. So the morning before I had surgery versus exactly 2 months after. And I can just see so much change. I think it's blatantly obvious. My chest has gotten so much smaller. I think it kind of is deceiving because my stomach area was so much larger. Even like the fat that wrapped around to my back in the midsection on surgery day is smaller. So I tend to lose weight everywhere. So while I have lost the most weight in my middle, that includes my back, my arms, my stomach, especially my stomach and my chest though, I also have lost a ton in my thighs. My calves have not changed a lot. I think that's pretty typical though. And we'll see. However, my feet it surprises me how much the weight I have lost to this point, how much my feet have already changed. And it's amazing. So I'm very happy with all of those things. I think I said this last month too, but it always surprises me how much more comfortable my arms lay at my sides when I see like that video from pre-surgery. Like my arms, they kind of stuck out. And I haven't shared the DEXA scan with y'all yet, but that was one of the things that like made my heart hurt when I looked at me laying on the table, was that it was literally impossible for my arms to be straight at my sides. Like they bent out. And I'll share that with y'all eventually when I feel stronger and capable of sharing that. But you can also see it just in the photos and in the video here that my arms kind of bow or bend out as opposed to going straight. And even now, after having lost almost 44 pounds, they still aren't completely straight, but eventually they will be. And I am very happy for that. And definitely I can see things changing in that upper thigh area, even like my knees. So especially if I'm not wearing pants and you can see my actual knees, I'm getting more definition in the actual knees, which is not something that I necessarily realized I was lacking, but definitely a lot more definition now. And there's one scar that was rather long, and it has shifted from being where you can see it from the front to being more on the side of my knee, and that's pretty exciting because it's a nasty looking scar. I appreciate before and after photos, progress stuff so much, because whether I've lost it slow like before or losing it fast like now, I don't think my mind on a day-to-day basis handles that change the same way. I don't see myself having had that progress. And so on a day-to-day, it's easy to get bogged down. Progress pictures and videos, always my favorite. I feel like this scale, even last month, I lost 30 pounds. And I feel like until I saw the side-by-sides, the change didn't hit as hard. And it feels the same now. I'm like, oh, I only lost 13 pounds. And first of all, I'm like, what do you mean you only lost 13 pounds? And then second, I'm like, wow, like the changes when I look at those side-by-sides, there's just so much. And that makes me really happy. So if you don't, I highly encourage that you start taking progress photos so you can see where you're going and how far you have come. So this coming month, I am holding loose on the goals again. I don't want to set hard numbers for myself, like I'm going to hit X number of steps or anything like that. I am just focused on getting in my walks, working, figuring out my diet needs, and then I am very much looking forward to getting my blood work done and seeing where I'm at and figuring out some of these energy issues I feel like I'm experiencing, where I just feel kind of lethargic. But that is neither here nor there. My husband is going to be leaving for a little while, and this will be the longest that he's been gone though. for quite a while, and that makes me sad. But on the upside, at least I will have lots of time to do YouTube. I will have time to adjust to work and to my diet, and I don't know, just trying to find like an upside. But at the same time, it sucks. It sucks that he's going to be so far away and our time zones are going to be so different, but it's part of it, and we will make it work. I do want to try to make myself vlog a few times, and I'm thinking I'll do like some different hikes and stuff and take y'all with me. So this coming month, I am pretty excited that there's not going to be big changes. There's not going to be like a changing in like the whole way that I'm eating. I could continue to add things in to my diet. I also could just stick with the vegetables and things that I currently am eating. I don't have to add stuff in. I don't have to make big changes, and that's something I'm grateful for. I can just keep it simple. Keep it very simple. I'm going to continue to walk. At some point, probably not for the next few weeks, but at some point I would like to start strength training. Also be getting blood work done for my 3-month appointment, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've also made some plans with my friends for this month, and I found a book club. I also have thought about branching out and going diving. There's like some different meetup groups and stuff, and I've thought about it. I don't know. I do know that there's a company that we like to go diving with, and I don't have to have a diving partner. Like, they'll either partner me up with a dive master or with someone else who is going on the dive. So we'll see. We'll see if I go diving at all. I'll definitely go diving while he's gone at least one time, but I also I'm gonna miss my husband. But that is that. My biggest goal, I think, for the month is I really want to get 30% down. So 30% of my excess weight. And that comes to like right at 54 pounds. It's a little under 54 pounds. I want to hit that number. And I mean, to be honest, I want to hit over that number because I feel like I'm not that far from that number now. And I would really like to lose more weight next month than I did this month. I'm not like coming for my numbers. Like, it's normal, I think, for there to be a stall, and I haven't really had a stall, but I'm hoping that this is just like, it's just gonna go like that for a little bit, and we'll see. And if not, then I will adapt and work through it. It will be fine. But yeah, so I am very happy with my progress so far. I am grateful that I feel as good as I do, and I am very excited to continue to share my weight loss journey with y'all. I'd love to hear what you are currently working on. If you have weight loss goals, if you have other fitness goals, if you're thinking about weight loss surgery or weight loss medication, or like you're meeting with the diet, like whatever your goals are, however you're working on it, I'd love to hear about it. So comment down below, let me know. And if you have any questions for me, drop those down below too. I'm so grateful for y'all. I am so blessed to have so many encouraging and loving people here on my YouTube channel. You guys really uplift me. I love you. And if you haven't and you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell so you'll be notified when I post. And I look forward to sharing my weight loss journey post weight loss surgery going forward. Bye.